Hello fellow dragons, it's Shane from Astral Dragon Gaming, and today we're reviewing GRIS, a very noir sort of game that is kind of a cross between a French painting and a musical extravaganza. There are many things to describe this game, but it's more a game much like Journey and many others where it's not so much how long the game is or how hard or easy the game is. It's about living through the experience of the game that really defines whether you play this game or not. This game is not overly expensive. It's very easy to run on any PC, so we'll get into it. The first thing that's very striking about this game is not only the camera angle, but just the use of focusing in, focusing out, and looking at the art style. The art style is very, very, very sort of simplistic, but complicated at the same time. It uses the idea of addition as opposed to having all the colours there for you to see. You play as a nameless girl who suddenly loses her voice and the world sort of crumbles around her. And she's left with trying to find the colour, the life, the voice that's inside her to create her world back again. And this is very reminiscent sort of design of a game talking about grief, talking about the pain and suffering, and the imagery and how it's all portrayed and everything is very much the whole essence of this game. It's really moody, it's very interesting, like you get to points where you're falling very far and everything, and how the background and the foreground sort of play with this entire sort of feeling of gravity and movement and everything is fantastic. The girl that you play has the ability to change into different objects and interact with different things all the time, and it's fantastically designed, very fluid, very moving, very cartoony, but almost a surreal realness to the entire game. And it's just so many interesting things about it. And I think just watching the animation and just feeling as you're playing the game, it's so extraordinarily uplifting. You go from points where you're just grounded, fighting wind, to points where you're dealing with water mechanics, and then you're dealing with wind mechanics and jumping, and then it'll introduce things that you don't know how to solve the problem, but it already gives you the answers to solve those problems very quickly. And I think that's what makes this game so much more an enjoyable game to play, because while you're trying to question why you're going on this journey, it's giving you visual cues on how things work. It gives you a representation of what you should and shouldn't do. And I think that's what makes this game so enthralling in its own sort of design. And when you have visuals that are this good, that's pretty much all you need to sell a game like this. We'll have a listen to the music and sound effects, and we'll get back into it right after that. if the visuals weren't just one thing that it was talking about in this game, it would be the other thing that is the most prominent point on this game, and that is the sound. The sound is so engrossing. It picks up and makes you feel so much into this. The music just picks you up and floats you away onto whatever sort of emotional roller coaster that the game is trying to put you on at one point or another. Like the movement of the character, how you suddenly are stuck in an instant of running for your life, or when you're just in a playful moment. It's all there. It's a very up and down sort of musical track, but it's all encompassing, but at the same time it doesn't overshadow what you're playing. It actually plays with what you're playing. So when there is a tense moment, then the play of the game is exactly what that feels with that kind of sound. And it's so very much like anything that you just want to play, and it's enjoyable. And the music is an accompaniment, not a single motif in the entire game design. And I think that's what makes this game so much more engrossing in its own sort of right, because of these elements all being put together as one cohesive game that just makes you feel as you play the game. Sound effect wise, it's really good. It's very minimalistic sort of sound effect wise, but it still sort of matches the motif of the design of the game. It still gives the entire feel of the game and makes it feel like it belongs with it. And I think that's what makes the entirety of the game really great too. So as a whole package, the whole thing works. There's no voice in it. There's a little singing motif towards the end and at the beginning of the game. But other than that, there is very little actual voice in this game. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. So down to the simplistics of it. It's basically a platformer game that you have to solve puzzles contained within. It's a very simplistic 2D game that will get your head scratching at points, but won't stop you from enjoying the game. It won't stop you from playing different parts of the game. There are a lot of collectibles in the game that you may or may not get the first time round. You are capable of going back and playing the game over and over again in various chapters so that you can get these different sort of achievements to move forward in the game. So anyway, that's been my review of GRIS. It's a very short review, this one, because there's not a huge amount of content contained within this game, but at the same time, this game is not really about a huge amount of content. It's about an experience. You'll only play it for around about 3 to 4 hours, and that will be the end of the game. But it's one of those games where you buy it not because it's a game you must play. It's a game that's full of something that inspires and pulls you in and makes something in your mind, and you can understand it. And like I said at the beginning, this game is dealing about the concepts of grief, how you deal with grief, and moving through the various parts of grief in order to come to the acceptance that things change when anything happens, and grief is always part of those feelings in existence, and without understanding that, you will never move on and grow as an individual. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button and the subscribe button, also the bell notification, because you know, YouTube sucks. And other than that, go out there and look at other reviews for other games and have a look for things that you enjoy. Not every game is for everyone, but at the same time, not every game is bad either. Yeah, that's my view on it anyway. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye for now.